So guys, we were discussing about the Azure data factory. We'll just brush it up and we'll move further with this today. Okay. Azure data factory. So guys, the Azure data factory. So when we say or when we talk about the Azure data factory, what does it mean? That means the Azure data factory is a service. This is what? A service provided by the Microsoft. Yes, guys. ADF is a service provided by the Microsoft to perform the job of what is that? ETL. So guys, what is that? ETL? Where everyone. So what do you mean by ETL, guys? Tell me. Yeah, everyone. ETL stands for what? Yes, guys. So ETL, please.
Extraction.
That is nothing but extraction. Extraction. Then we have the next one as the, yes, guys. Extraction is the first.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Now it's fine. Extraction. Guys, is it fine now?
Yeah, for me it is fine.
Yes, sir.
Extraction,
Yes, sir.
transformation. Okay, extraction, transformation, and the next one is loading. So guys, this is the thing we have it: extraction, transformation, and loading. What is this? This is a technique. Yes. So this is a technique. Okay, guys, this is a technique. This is a technique which is used to perform the data. Guys, what is that? Data summarization. Which is used to perform the data summarization. Which is used to perform the data summarization. Wherein this particular technique called ETL, that is extraction, transformation, and loading, requires two things. What is the two things it requires? Guys, it requires the first one as what? Yes, source. It requires what is that? Source. So guys, what do you mean source? Source is nothing but, actually the source is nothing but, this is called as a source of data. It is called as what? Source of data. So guys, this is nothing but the source of data. We can say source of data. So next one, what is it? We have it, guys. The another thing which we require is what? Target. Target is nothing but, this is also called as a destination. Okay. Okay. So also called as what? Destination. Destination. It is also called as what? Destination. It is also called as what? Destination. That is the target. So guys, between the source and the target, we use the technique or whatever the process we have, that is called as what? ETL. Whereas apart from this, we also have what is it? ELT, which uses the same, that is nothing but extraction, loading, and transform. So anything we can use it here. Okay. So guys, extraction, transformation, and loading, and extraction, loading, and transformation. So whatever the thing we have it. So these are the two corners we have it in ETL process. So when we talk about the source means what, guys? Tell me now. Actually, the source is nothing but what? Source of data. Am I right, everyone? Source of data. Yesterday we have discussed it. Just I'm brushing up. Source of data. So means what? Source of data. That means what? A place where you can find the data. So can you tell me what are the sources of data we can have it, guys? We can get the data from what? From the files. Yes, guys. We can get the data from what? Files. We can get the data from what? Databases.
Databases.
Yes. The next one, we can get the data from what? Live streaming, etc. These are the various sources of getting the data. So guys, what we do is we get this data. We get this data. Here we get this data and perform the process of what? So perform the process of extraction and transformation and loading. So we use for this ETL, we use here as what? ADF. That is called as what? Azure Data Factory. So the Azure Data Factory uses the process of ETL, and finally it loads the data into the destination. That is called as what? Target. It is loaded. It loads the data in what? Destination. It loads the data into what? Destination. Destination, that is called as what? Target. Destination is nothing but called as what? Target. So guys, here we have the following. What is it? Files, databases, and live streaming, where we get the data. Now guys, whatever the data we get it from these sources, basically this data is also called as what? Yes, guys, it is also called as what? The data which we get it from these sources, it is also called as what? Big data. Am I right or not, everyone? Big data. So what do you mean by big data? Big data is nothing but what? Huge information. That is called as what? Huge information. What is it? Huge information. That is called as what? Huge information. Big data is nothing but what? Huge information. Whereas, guys, when we talk about the big data, so the big data is classified or divided into three types. That means the big data can be of three types. What is that first type? Can you tell me, guys? The first one is what? Yes, guys, everyone. I want an answer. Yes, that is called as what? Structured data. The first one is called as what? Structured data. And now, guys, the second one, when we talk about the second one, can you tell me what is the another data?
Semi-structured.
Very good.
Semi-structured.
Semi-structured. Semi-structured data. Guys. And the next one, what is that we have it? Semi-structured.
Unstructured.
Yes, guys, exactly. The third one, we have it here as the, yes, guys, the third one is structured data. So we can say here, third one is a structured data. Sorry, unstructured, right? Unstructured. Unstructured data. Guys, unstructured data. So these are the categories or variation of the data we can find it here. What is that? The first one is the first one is what? We have the unstructured, structured, and semi-structured. These are the three categories you can have. Okay, guys, everyone. So semi-structured, structured, and unstructured. These are the three categories of data we can have. Any data you have it. Basically, it is classified into these categories only. Am I right, guys, everyone? So now, when we talk about the storages, guys, when we talk about the storages, can you tell me what is that? When we talk about the storages, tell me now, what are the storages we have in Azure? Yes, guys.
Blob storage.
Yes, very good. So now these storages are used for what? Yes, tell me why these storages are basically used. Because you have three type of data, structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. To store this data, generally we require the storages. Am I right or not? So for that, these data, whatever the data you have it, this particular data will be recorded in what is that? Azure storages. We call it as what? Azure storages, or we can say storages in Azure. Azure storages. Azure storages. What is it? We call it as what? Azure storages. That is called as what? Azure storages. So now tell me, what are the storages in Azure we have it? As just now you told that is the first one is what? Azure Blob Storage. Yes, guys. Azure Blob Storage. Then we have the next one as what?
Azure Data Lake.
Azure Data Lake. Tell me. Gen 2. Leave about the Gen 1 because Gen 1 we cannot create it. So discussing that is no point. No point in discussing that because we cannot create it. That chapter is gone already. So guys, ADLS Gen 2. Then we have the next one is what? Azure SQL database, guys. Azure SQL database. And the fourth one we have it as the Azure, guys. Cosmos DB, etc., etc. So now, guys, altogether, can you tell me? Guys. Now altogether, tell me how many storages is provided in Azure? Can you tell me, guys? 90 plus storages. How many storages are provided, guys?
90 plus.
90 plus storages. Okay, 90 plus storages are provided in Azure. Now, guys, so I think till here all of you are clear. No doubt, I think so. Am I right, everyone? So, guys, now let us start with the actual subject, guys. So we'll start with the Azure Data Factory. Guys, everyone, I'm using what is that? Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory. What's it? Azure Data Factory. Guys, everyone, Azure Data Factory. So, guys, Azure Data Factory. So when it comes to this Azure Data Factory, sorry, the Azure Data Factory, guys, needs the following components to design a pipeline. What is that? We can say that components in Azure. Sorry, components in ADF, not the Azure, guys. These are called as what? Components in ADF. These components are only the part and parcel of the ADF, guys. Make sure these components are only the part and parcel of the ADF. it has to do nothing with the another one. Am I right, everyone? Suppose if you use the ADB components will be different. Basically, we don't call this components there. So we call some other thing. Anyways, let's not discuss here about the ADB. So when we discuss about the ADF, guys, so the components are nothing but these components are those, these components are those, these components are those which are used, which are used, everyone, which are used to, that is nothing but design a complete structure of data that is called as extraction, transformation, and loading. So guys, if you know these components, that is more than enough. You can do everything here. So the first component, we call it as a pipeline. And the second component, we can have it here as the linked service, everyone. And third one, we require it as what? Data sets, everyone, data sets. And the fourth one, we have it as what? Pipeline, linked service, data sets. And what is it you have it? Huh, guys, tell me. Pipeline, linked service, data sets.
Data
Again,
flow.
yes. So, okay, data flows. Okay, no problem. So, okay. So mapping data flows. I'm using the mapping data flows. Okay, no problem. We'll use this also. Mapping data flows. And then we have the triggers. Triggers. Now, guys, the sixth one is what? Activities. Activities. And the seventh one is what?
Integration runtime.
Very good. So integration. Yes, integration. Yes, guys, runtime. What is it? Integration runtime. What is it? Integration runtime. So guys, these are the components which we require it. What is it? These are the components which we require it here to perform the job of ETL, that is called as extraction, transformation, and loading, everyone. Okay, guys. So these are the components which we require it. So now let us discuss all of them one by one. Guys, all of you clear now? So I'll discuss it. Let us see. What is pipeline basically? Everyone, I'm writing it here. Guys, because you must and should be very much clear on this. If you're not clear with the components, you cannot, guys, you cannot do this ADF. You must and should know the use of every component. Getting my point, everyone? So guys, let us see it here. The first component is called as what? Pipeline. Pipeline. Guys, pipeline is nothing but it is responsible. It is responsible to carry the data from the source to the target. Guys, I'm using it in very simple language, not at all in a technicality. Okay. So guys, it is used to carry the data from the source to the target. So guys, can you see here? Go above. All of you know that here you require two things. What is that? Guys, you require two things. Source and you require what is that? Target. So source and target. Between the source and target, we perform the job of what? ETL. So now guys, pipeline is what? The pipeline starts from here. The pipeline starts from here. Guys, everyone, this is called as a pipeline, PIP, pipeline. So from here, the pipeline starts and ends the pipeline here. Am I right, everyone? So pipeline is responsible, guys, all of you. Pipeline is responsible to carry the data from the source to the target. So whenever you want to perform the extraction, transformation, and loading, the ETL is performed inside a pipeline only. So pipeline, if the pipeline is started, then only you can perform the process. So guys, it is just like, for example, let us come out of this. Let us not discuss something technically. Let us come, all of you, we'll discuss it in the normal way. Okay, we'll take an example here. Guys, all of you, when we talk about a pipeline, guys, everyone. So all of you must be getting the water supply at your home. Am I right or not? We all stay in some apartments or individual houses, etc. We get the water supply into our wash areas. Am I right or not? We get the water supply. Am I right, everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes.
We get the water supply. We we get the water supply at, within our wash areas. Now, guys, my question is that, so actually, when you talk about the water, you open this tap, you open this tap, you open the tap, you'll get the water, running water, you'll get it. But actually, can you tell me from where you're getting that water?
From tank.
Yeah,
Water
very
tank.
good. Yes, very good. Overhead tank. Am I right? You're getting the water from the overhead tank. Now tell me, the overhead tank and tap is connected using what? The
Pipeline.
overhead tank, yeah, very good. The overhead tank and tap is connected with a pipeline. Am I right or not? That is the reason why you get the water from the overhead tank to your tap. Am I right or not? So can you say here like that? The pipeline is responsible to supply the water from the overhead tank to your tap. Am I right or not? Is this statement correct, guys? Yes, tell me, all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, correct.
The same way here also, this, whatever the pipeline we have it here, it is used to carry the same. But here, when we discuss about this example, here the water is supplied, but here what is supplied here? Can you tell me? What is supplied here? Data. Very
Data.
good. So hence it is called as what? Data pipeline. It is called as what? Data pipeline. So now I will use a technical word. You will understand it. The pipeline is responsible for orchestration of the data. The sorry, the pipeline is responsible for orchestration of the data from the source to the target, or from the source to the destination. Orchestration means flow, guys. Flow. Orchestration means what? Flow. The actual meaning of orchestration, I'll tell you. Guys, I think all of you must be watching reality shows, such as you have a famous reality show called Indian Idol. Am I right, everyone? Did you watch sometime in your life the Indian Idol?
Yes, sir.
So generally, most of us may be watching this Indian Idol. What happens? So people will be singing, singers will come and sing the song. Whereas during the time of singing, so you will be having a music team. And in the front of the music team, one person will be standing there who will be shaking his hands. Am I right or not? According to the music note, he will direct the music notes. Am I right or not? He takes his hands up. That means take the music note upwards. So he takes his hands down. So that means get the music note down. So in the same way, that means that person is called as orchestrator. That person is called as what? Music orchestrator. That person is called as what? Music orchestrator. In the same way, that means movement of the music is controlled by a person called orchestrator. In the same way, the movement of the data flow is controlled by what? The movement of the data flow is controlled by what? Is controlled by the data pipeline from the source to the target. How the data should flow? How the data should flow? What should be the that is flow? How it should go? All is the speed of the data. Everything is decided by the pipeline, which we call it as what? Data pipeline. Clear, everyone? Yes, guys, everyone is clear or not? Please tell me now.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So that the next one, all of you, we have it as a linked service. What is it? We have it today? Linked service. So now tell me, what is a linked service? Basically, linked service is nothing but it is just like creating the relationship, establishing the relationship, connecting the sources. Am I right? So such as the tap, when we talk about the same example of the tap and the pipeline, the tap and the pipeline, ultimately they both are attached with a thread-like object, which we call it as a coupling. Am I right or not? A thread-like object called coupling. So the tab is connected to the thread-like object called coupling, and again the same coupling is connected to the pipeline from the other side, two-sided. Am I right or not? Which connects the tab. You just observe it. The tab is connected with a coupling. That means the coupling is relating the tab as well as what is it? You have it, the pipe as well as the pipe here. So in the same way, here you have, guys, can you see? When we talk about this example, the data pipeline is here. All of you, the data pipeline is here. All of you, just concentrate. The data pipeline is here. Whereas, guys, the data pipeline, can you see here? The data pipeline. So once you access the data, tell me now, once you access the data, where the data is stored here? From the source, whenever you access the data, it is stored in Azure storages, which we call it as what? Suppose blob storage. Blob storage. Now, guys, this blob storage required to be connected to the pipeline, required to be connected with the pipeline. So to connect this, guys, everyone, to connect this blob storage with the pipeline, that is called as a data pipeline, we require a service. That service is called as what? Linked service. That service is called as what? Linked service. That service is called as what, guys? Linked service. So linked service relates, guys, linked service relates the blob storage or whatever the storage of Azure we have it with the data pipeline, Further, once it is done, even in that, here also you will have a target as a source. Let us say here you have a Gen 2. Now, guys, this Gen 2 is not connected with the pipeline. Is it connected with the pipeline? No. So here also again we require one more service. So Gen 2 is one storage. And now, guys, can you see here? To connect the Gen 2, all of you, to connect the Gen 2 with the data pipeline, we require another service called as what? Linked service. We require the service called what? Linked service. We use the service called what? Linked service. Guys, can you see here? Here we have the linked service. Blob storage to, what is that? Blob storage to, guys, what is that? Blob storage to, yes, guys, blob storage to data pipeline, link service 1, and data pipeline to Gen 2, linking both of them, we require one. So for every process, we require 2 linked services. Make sure we require, what is it? 2 linked services. Linked services are nothing but it establishes the relationship between the, yes, source storage and the pipeline. Source storage and the pipeline. It establishes the relationship between the source storage and the pipeline. That is called as what? Linked service. That's it, guys. The third one, we have it here. Everyone, can you see here? What is it? We have it? Data sets. So now, guys, can you tell me what is a data set? Data set is nothing but very simple, guys. In some other languages, we call them as a table. Am I right? We call them as a table. Guys, we call them as a table. But these tables are the collection of what?
Rows and columns.
Very good. Rows and columns. Rows and columns. Guys, we use, what is it? Rows and columns. We use, what is it? Rows and columns. Where this data set is a collection of what? Rows and columns. In the same way, the data set is nothing but a table in ADF. In ADF, the table is called as what? Data set. And whereas this data set is the collection of what? Observations. Observations are nothing but rows. I'm writing R for clarity. And now, guys, next one is what? Variables are nothing but what? Columns. Am I right, everyone? Variables are nothing but what? Columns. Guys, these are the things we have. What is it? Observations are rows. Variables are columns. Observations are rows. Variables are the columns. Clear, all of you know? So, guys, this, whatever the thing you have it, is within the storages. I'll show you where it is created. Within the storages, you have it now. Guys, within the storages, you have it. In the storage, blob storage, the data is recorded in the form of what? Data set here. So one data set for the source, and one more data set is created for what, guys? Tell me now. One more data set is created for what? Guys, can you tell me? One more data set. Very good. So here you will have a data set, another one. So make sure every data pipeline requires 2 link services and 2 storages and 2, what is that? Data sets. In some cases, we require one also, but I'll show you that exceptional cases once we start practicing it. Okay, guys? So these are the things we have it. So now, guys, we have already done with the 3. What is that? The first one is the pipeline, and the second one is the linked service, and the third one is the data sets. Now, guys, when we talk about the mapping data flows, all of you. When we talk about the mapping data flows, all of you. So, guys, when we talk about the mapping data flows, okay, mapping data flows are nothing but Generally, in some other languages, we call it as a transformations. Transformations. Transformation is what? Transformation is the actual process of data summarization. Transformation is the actual process of what? Guys, everyone. Data summarization. Transformation is the actual process of what? Data summarization. But whereas these transformations in ADF is called as what? Mapping data flows. This transformation in ADF is called as what? Mapping data flows, such as you have the guys aggregator transformation. You have the derived column transformation, and then you can have sort transformation, etc., etc. Various actions, various activities, various actions. You can use it here. That's it. Okay, that is called as a mapping data flows. That is called as transformation. But guys, can you see here? Here you will have it. The transformation. So ultimately the T is nothing but called as what? Mapping data flows. T is called as what? Guys, T is called as what? Mapping data flows. Only T. All of you make sure the T is nothing but what? The T is called as a mapping data flows. Mapping data flows. The T is called as what? Mapping data flows. That's it, guys. Clear, all of you? Yes, everyone. I want an answer, guys.
Yes, sir, clear.
So now, guys, the further next we have it. What is that, guys? Triggers. What do you mean triggers? Guys, suppose when you talk about the triggers, you wanted to wake up early morning in the 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, you wanted to wake up. Guys?
Yes, sir.
You want to wake up early morning, 5 o'clock. What you will do? You will put the alarm in your mobile phone. Am I right or not? So the alarm will ring automatically. Guys, the alarm will ring, guys, automatically without the human intervention, or you have to intervene to ring it? Tell me now. Once you fix an alarm, will it ring automatically or not? Tell me.
Automatically, sir.
Yes, sir.
Without human intervention.
So that is nothing but at a particular time, whatever the time you're given, automatically it will ring. Whether you are waken up till that time or still you're sleeping, it doesn't matter. Am I right? So whereas here also, to run the pipeline automatedly, to start the pipeline, what is that? To start the pipeline, to run the pipeline. Can you see here? What is that you have it? Pipeline is here now. So you wanted to run this pipeline. So pipeline running means what? It will collect the data, it will transform the data and load the data. All these things need to be implemented or executed. For that, we require the triggers. We require what? Trigger. If you trigger it, so this pipeline should run tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock. Whether you are there in before the system or not, it will automatically start and it will finish the job. That is called as a triggers. That is called as what, guys? Triggers. So basically, you can execute the data pipeline in Azure in two ways. What is that you have it? The first way is in the form of a triggers, and the second one is what? Debug mode. Debug means manual mode. Manually run the pipeline. That's it. Okay. So guys, basically, when you talk about the triggers, we have three types of triggers. What are those? The first type of trigger, everyone, the first type of trigger, that is called as what? That is, guys, event-based trigger. Event-based trigger. Event means what? I'll explain you. Schedule trigger. And the third type of trigger, which we call it here as a, everyone, tumbling window trigger. Tumbling window trigger. Guys, event trigger is what? Event. When an event happens, it will run automatically. Such as the event, I will fix it. Every last day of the month, this pipeline should run. Every last day of a month. So can you tell me what are the last day of the months we can have it? Can somebody tell me?
30, 31st.
30, 31st, 28. Am I right or not? Or
Yes.
sometimes 29 also.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yes.
So that is an event. So when that event comes, this trigger will run. You can give it as what? Event based. every last day of the month you want to run it, whether irrespective of the day you have it, irrespective of the date you have it, whether it is 29 or 30th or 31st, that doesn't matter for me. It should run only on the last day. Last day is what? My event. In the same way, scheduled, this should run every day at 11 o'clock. This should run every day at what is it? 11 a.m. in the morning. This should run every day at 11 a.m. That is called as what? Scheduled. Scheduled means what? You will already schedule it to run it tomorrow or day after tomorrow, whatever we have it. At that particular time only it will run. Getting my point? Though these are the two types. Tumbling window we will discuss once we go to the subject, because this is a a different type of trigger where we require to discuss some more things on this. Okay. So tumbling window, we will discuss it once we get into the subject, guys. Okay. So these are the two, that is nothing but triggers we have it. That is called as what? Event-based trigger, scheduled trigger, and tumbling window trigger. Clear, everyone? Now, guys, the next one, what is it? You have it, activities. So what do you understand by activities? Action you want to perform on the data, guys. Action. What is that action? Can you tell me now? Action. Here you have a data pipeline. So what I wanted to do? Here I wanted to perform the action. What is that action? That action is nothing but, guys, everyone, that action is nothing but, guys, I wanted to copy this. I wanted to copy. I wanted to copy. I wanted to copy from here to here. Getting my point? I wanted to copy, use and copy activity. Use and copy activity means what? Control C and Control V. So action, simply copy the data from copy source to the target. This is called as what? Activities. So activities are nothing but what? Action you wanted to perform on the data is called as what? Activities. Action you wanted to perform on the data is called as what? Activities. Action you wanted to perform on the data is called as what? Activities. Guys, action you wanted to perform on the data is called as what? Activities. Clear, all of you? Yes, guys? Action you wanted to perform on the data is called as what? Activities. That's it. We can have many activities. What is it? Copy, stored procedure, etc., etc. All these are the actions we can mention it one after the other. We will see this. And now, guys, integration runtime. What do you mean by integration runtime? Basically, you will have integration runtimes are used based on the usage. Suppose here you have it. Can you see here, guys? All of you just come back. All of you just see my desktop, everyone. This is my desktop. Can you see here? Here you have files. Some files are there. Can you tell me? Some files are there. Some files are there. And these files I wanted to get into the I want to use these files. I wanted to use these files. I wanted to use these files into my cloud environment. So guys, now tell me. So is it a type of on-premises to cloud transfer or not? Huh? Suppose you have a desktop, all of you. You have my desktop. Desktop. This is a desktop. And from the desktop, all of you, I wanted to get the data into the cloud. So, or else, so desktop. Desktop is what? Desktop is always referred as the on-premises system. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Yes.
So on-premises system. So whenever you wanted to perform the transfer of data from on-premises system to cloud, on-premises system to cloud, okay, cloud. So whenever you wanted to perform the on-premises to cloud, here we have to use an IR, that is called as what? IR, integration runtime. That integration runtime is called as, guys, that integration runtime is called as what? Self-hosted IR. Self-hosted IR means what? Self-hosted integration runtime. Self-hosted IR. Suppose you have a data already available in your blob storage. All of you, already the data is in the blob storage. From the blob, you wanted to copy to the Gen 2. From the blob, you wanted to copy the data to the Gen 2. So Gen 2. Gen 2 is cloud and blob is also the cloud. Huh? So here we use, what is that? We use an integration runtime. That we use it here as what? Azure IR. What is it? Azure IR. Azure IR, which is also called as auto resolve integration, which is also called as what? Auto resolve integration. You can also call it as what? Auto resolve integration. That's it. No? And the third type of thing, Suppose already you have some data here written in on-premises system, on-premises. On-premises, some software is there. Let us say some ab initio soft system is there. I have already done some, transformations. I have written some transformations. So those transformations I wanted to use in the cloud, that is called as Azure. So here we use, what is that? Tell me now. Here we use this SSIS IR integration. SSIS IR, that is called as what? Integration runtime. SSIS IR, that is called as what? Integration runtime. So whenever only existing code, suppose you have ab initio is there, or suppose you have, what is that? Apart from the ab initio, guys, you have some Informatica note is there. So whenever you wanted to copy that, whenever you wanted to copy that from, what is that? Existing one. What is that? From the existing code you want to copy it. So existing some software is there, guys. SSIS IR. So existing some, okay. What is it? Existing or some, code is there. Okay, guys. So for that, what we do use? We use, what is it? SSIS IR. It is like a package, guys. It is like, what is it? Package. It is like, what is it, guys? Package. So
we can say like lift and shift operation, right?
yes, that's it. Okay. So guys, that's the only thing we have it. So now, guys, so what do you mean by SSIS? SQL Server Integration Service. What it is? SSIS stands for what? SQL Server Integration Service. That is called as a package. Managed to use the Azure compute environment. That's it. Okay, guys. Managed to use the Azure compute environment. Compute means always a cluster. Anyways, I don't want to confuse it now. So guys, this is the only thing we have it. So these are the all components we have it. Okay, guys. So guys, these are the components. So if you are good in the 7 components, everyone, we can just do it, no problem. And now, guys, today, apart from this, I will also show you how to start this, because practicals we are going to start it from tomorrow. I will show you how to create it. Just go to this desktop. Everyone, can you see it? Are you able to see my screen? This is a portal, this is a browser where I'm using portal dot. Can you see it? Portal.azure.com I'm using it. But how to go to this portal? For that, I'm using it. Use azure.com. Azure.com, everyone. Everyone is able to see the screen? Please.
Yes, sir.
So now you have this azure.com. Click on the free account, everyone. First to try with the free account only, guys. Don't go with the pay-as-you-go model. Free account. It will ask you whether you want to start free or pay-as-you-go. Don't go with the pay-as-you-go. From the day one, they will charge you. So start the free. So start the free. And now, guys, you have to sign up. So sign up means already I'm signed up. So directly it's taking me. So I'm just clicking on this sign in. So it will divert me from that azure.com portal to, what is it? Azure.com portal to this portal. What is that? Portal.azure.com. See here, everyone. Looks like that means same. Na? I have already, can see. This is the portal.azure.com. This is my subscription. You have it. So all of you take it. So before it was accepting the credit card. Now I think even it's accepting the debit card. You people can try out with the debit card also. It's supporting, because it has upgraded itself on par with the Amazon Web Services, because Amazon Web Services allows the debit card. Okay, so that's the reason you can also have the debit card to use it. So that's it, guys. So you can just go ahead and we'll start the practicals from tomorrow. Okay, guys, everyone. That's it, guys. So tomorrow we'll have the class. Yes, we'll have the class tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have the class at the same time. Okay.
So tomorrow it's demo class or
no, it's regular. Continued. No demo class.
okay.
Sir, how many classes are over?
Today is third class, I guess.
Yes, third class. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So guys, that's it. So we'll start with the practicals tomorrow. Okay?
Sir, are you saving that notepad?
Generally, I don't save it, but it's there in the recording. No?
Okay.
It's there in the recording. You'll have it in the recording. You will have it. So if you want, you can have it. That's not a problem. That's it, guys. So let's end up the class and we'll catch you tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow the same time. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, at the end, do you show any project?
Obviously, a project we'll see. Every day we are going to see as a like a project only we are going to see. Because the case studies, what we are going to see, it's not very simple. It will be very complex. Real-time implementation point of view only I'll be showing you. So with the end of this, you will understand what exactly things happens. So you don't require what I believe. Okay, you don't require to have a separate project on this because at the end of this, you'll understand everything.
Hi, Samit. This is Krishna.
Yeah, Krishna.
Actually, this is my first class, so I had to listen this followed your demo 1, demo 2. So if I have any question, will you already did you already covered in demo 1, demo 2, like how much time it will take to finish this
Today,
course?
whatever, yes, already everything. Can you see here? When we talk about the demo one, it will take 60 hours, guys. 60 hours means almost 2.5 to 3 months it will take.
Okay.
The subject is very vast. That much I can tell you. The subject is very vast. What we are covering, that is very vast. It is not very simple subject. If really you want to work for that people, it's very good.
Okay.
So if you are learning it for as a part of a hobby, then I don't suggest you to go ahead with this. So really we use it. Okay. So the practical thing. So if you have any query, you can get back to me on this. You can message me on my mobile number. This is my mobile number. So you can just
I'm
get
supposed to ask you the same thing.
This is my
I'll
mobile
talk
number
to you
on
directly.
WhatsApp. Yeah, you can just talk to me directly. No problem. Okay.
I'll get back to you on this.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you, Samir.
Bye bye. Thank you, everyone.